सरस्वती माँ, सुर का ज्ञान सिखा दे माँ, है न्यारा इस हृदय में, सुर का दीप जला दे माँ, सुर का दीप जला दे माँ, सुर की देवी सरस्वती माँ, सुर का ज्ञान सिखा दे माँ, है न्यारा इस हृदय में, सुर का दीप जला दे माँ, सुर का दीप जला दे माँ, सुर की देवी सरस्वती माँ। रीत न जानू, गीत न जानू, प्रीत न जानू चरणों की, रीत न जानू, गीत न जानू, प्रीत न जानू चरणों की, रीत न जानू, गीत न जानू, प्रीत न जानू चरणों की, ज्ञान नहीं ज्ञानी हूँ मैं, सच्ची राह दिखा दे माँ, है न्यारा इस हृदय में, सुर का दीप जला दे माँ, सुर का दीप जला दे माँ, सुर की देवी सरस्वती माँ। साज चुनी आवाज चुनी हो, राग चुनी बस रख लेना, साज चुनी आवाज चुनी हो, राग चुनी बस रख लेना, साज चुनी आवाज चुनी हो, राग चुनी बस रख लेना, तेरे चरण शरण आया हूँ, भक्ति धून बना दे माँ, है न्यारा इस हृदय में, सुर का दीप जला दे माँ, सुर का दीप जला दे माँ, सुर की देवी सरस्वती माँ। पूजन अर्चन वंदन सब कुछ शब्द सुमन अर्पण माता, पूजन अर्चन वंदन सब कुछ शब्द सुमन अर्पण माता, पूजन अर्चन वंदन सब कुछ शब्द सुमन अर्पण माता, प्रेम तेरा खेल तुमि करो वरद हस्त स्वीकारो माँ, है न्यारा इस हृदय में, सुर का दीप जला दे माँ, सुर का दीप जला दे माँ, सुर की देवी सरस्वती माँ, सुर का ज्ञान सिखा दे माँ, है न्यारा इस हृदय में, सुर का दीप जला दे माँ, सुर का दीप जला दे माँ, सुर की देवी सरस्वती माँ। जय गोविंदा गोपाला मनमोहन श्याम कन्हैया, मुरलीधर गोपाला घनश्याम नंद के लाला, जय गोविंदा जय गोविंदा जय गोविंद मेरे, जय गोविंदा जय गोविंदा मुरली
Our dear devotees, once again it is my distinct pleasure to extend to you a very cordial welcome to this, the third night of worship to the Mangal Murti of Lord Ganesh. This Ganesh Utsav comes after 2 years of absence, physical absence, the people who perform their pujas at home. But now we have the opportunity to come back out. Some people are still wearing masks, which is good. That is to protect yourself. So, if you feel you need to have it on, please do. This Ganesh Utsav has been a yearly, except for the 2 years, for the past 25 years, maybe more. Because I remember we started off at Yaranga Savannah. And Sri Sitaram Devotees, his family, and members of Swasi Vachana. They are the core group that has created this very beautiful ambience for you to come and worship the Mangal Murti of Lord Ganesh. It is our sincere hope that the time you spend here during this period of the Ganesh Utsav is of great benefit to you. As we ask Lord Ganesh to bless each and every one present here this evening. Bless your family members, those of who would like to come and didn't come for whatever reason. The Vyas this evening is none other than Sri Sitaram Devotees. Needs no introduction. We all know him very well. He is now with the new technology all over the world. So we ask you at this time to stand please for first hour.
Hari Om Gam Ganapati Namo Namaha. Hari Om Gam Ganapatibhyo Namo Namaha. Hari Om Gam Ganapatibhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha Deva, Mata Jati Parvati Pita Mahadeva.
Ganapati Deva, Ganapati Deva, Ganapati Deva.
Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha Deva, Mata Jati Parvati Pita Mahadeva.
Ganapati Deva, Ganapati Deva, Ganapati Deva.
Ganapati Deva,
Ganapati Deva,
Ganapati Deva.
Ganapati Deva.
Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha Deva, Mata Jati Parvati Pita Mahadeva.
Ganapati Deva, Ganapati Deva, Ganapati Deva.
एक दंत दयावंत चार भुजाधारी, एक दंत दयावंत चार भुजाधारी, माते सिंदूर स्वयं सखी सवारी। गणपति देवा,
Ganapati Deva,
गणपति देवा,
Ganapati Deva.
ओ गणपति देवा।
Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha Deva, Mata Jati Parvati Pita Mahadeva. Ganapati Deva, Ganapati Deva, Ganapati Deva.
गणपति देवा,
Ganapati Deva,
गणपति देवा।
Ganapati Deva.
अंडन को आकर कोरियन को खाया, अंडन को आकर कोरियन को खाया, भाजन का पुत्र देत निर्धन को। गणपति देवा,
Ganapati Deva,
गणपति देवा,
Ganapati Deva.
ओ गणपति देवा।
Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha Deva, Mata Jati Parvati Pita Mahadeva. Ganapati Deva, Ganapati Deva, Ganapati Deva.
गणपति देवा।
Ganapati Deva.
हार चढ़े फूल चढ़े और चढ़े मेवा, हार चढ़े फूल चढ़े और चढ़े मेवा, मोदक का भोग लगे सतगढ़ से। गणपति देवा,
Ganapati
सुब्रह्मण्यम शंभुनाथ सुब्रह्मण्यम
सुब्रह्मण्यम 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 सुब्रह्मण्यम शंभुनाथ सुब्रह्मण्यम
रे बम बम बोले बम 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 बोले बम बम बोले बम बम बोले नाचे नटराजा
बम बम बोले बम बम बोले नाचे नटराजा
बम बम बोले बम 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 बोले बम बम बोले नाचे नटराजा
बम बम बोले बम बम बोले नाचे नटराजा
ओम नमः शिवाय बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय
ओम नमः शिवाय बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय
हरि ओम नमः शिवाय बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय
ओम नमः शिवाय बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय
बम बम बोले बम 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 बोले बम बोले नाचे नटराजा
बम बम बोले बम बम बोले नाचे नटराजा
मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे
मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे
अरे मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे
मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे
अरे मोरिया 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 रे
मोरिया 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 रे
मोरिया आहा मोरिया 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 रे
मोरिया 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 रे
मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे
मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे
गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे हे गोपी गोपबाला
गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे हे गोपी गोपबाला
गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे हे मुरली गान
गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे हे मुरली गान लोला
हे गिरिधर गोपाला हे गिरिधर गोपाला माधव गिरिधर गोपाला
हे गिरिधर गोपाला हे गिरिधर गोपाला माधव गिरिधर गोपाला
गण गण नीला यदुनंदना
गण गण नीला यदुनंदना
गण गण नीला यदुनंदना
गण गण नीला यदुनंदना
गण श्याम सुंदर मनमोहना
गण श्यामा सुंदर मनमोहना
गण श्याम सुंदर मनमोहना
गण श्यामा सुंदर मनमोहना
गिरिधर गोपाल नटराजा
गिरिधर गोपाल नटराजा
गिरिधर गोपाल गिरिधर गोपाल नटराजा
गिरिधर गोपाल नटराजा
नरतन सुंदर मनमोहना
गण गण नीला यदुनंदना गण गण नीला यदुनंदना गण श्यामा सुंदर मनमोहना गण श्यामा सुंदर मनमोहना
श्याम सुंदर मनमोहना घन श्याम सुंदर मनमोहना प्रेम से बोलो श्री गजानन स्वामी की उमापति महादेव की जय आज शक्ति देवी दुर्गा माता की जय पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय प्रेम से बोलो श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की आसन दीजिए टेक योर सीट्स
Brims Bolo Shri Gajanana Swami Ki. My dear friends, this is the Chaturthi festival of Mahaganapati. We welcome you to our homes in the presence of the Lord Bappa Muriya, Sri Ganesh Ji. I think you can repeat Jai a little bit more enthusiastic, with great more enthusiasm tonight. We try again. Prem Svalo Shri Gajanana Swami Ki. Never must we be ashamed. Never must we be afraid to repeat Jai or victory to the Lord. I welcome each and every one of you here tonight. Pujan has been completed by Pandit Gyan. Tonight was dedicated for our children to take their chance in performing Pujan, and they have all come out to take part. Pandit Yudish, thank you for gracing our presence. My godson, thank you for being here, Veer. And all you wonderful souls who have come, may the blessings of the divine be showered upon each and every one of you. The time has come, my dear friends, to begin our service for tonight. Hat jodkar, sit upright. Put your hands together, close eyes and bow heads. Remember, my dear friends, an opportunity lost is one may never come your way again. So therefore, put your heart and soul in trying to win the grace of that Lord and Master as we seek His blessings in His many forms. Hari Om Parabrahma Parameshwaraya Sariranga Sariranga Pahi Pahi Namo Narayanayebhyo Namo Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaram Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Dhyanamoolam Guru Murti Poojamulam Gurur Padam Mantramoolam Gurur Vakyam Mokshamulam Gurur Kripa. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namo Namaha. Bhagwan Shiva, salutations to him. Om Karpura Gauram Karunavataram Sansara Saram Bhujagendraharam Sada Vasantam Hirdayad Vinde Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami. Salutations to the Divine Mother, Ad Shakti Durga Devi. Om Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadra Kali Kapalani Durga Shoma Shiva Datri Swaha Swadha Namustute. He is called Pratham Pujya. He is the son of Mata Parvati and Bhagwan Shiva. It is he who we celebrate in this most auspicious time with his beautiful Mangal Murti, able and willing to confer grace and blessings to his bhaktas. Pour your hearts out to him. Om Gajananang Bhutaganadi Sevitam Kapit Jambu Phala Sadhu Bhakshanam Umasutam Shoka Vinashakarakam Namami Vigneshwar Parapankajam Sri Gam Ganapatibhyo Namo Namaha. Vakrutundayebhyo Namo Namaha. Balachandra Vakshubhyo Namo Namaha. Om Vignahartayebhyo Namo Namaha. Om Gam Ganapat Hum. Bhagwan Krishna, as he blows his beautiful basuri, he charms the heart of his bhaktas. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanuru Mardanam Devaki Nandana Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. Asatoma Sadagamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorama Amritam Gamaye. Om Prem Swaro Shri Gajanana Swami Ki. My dear friends, tonight, as we begin, we'll glorify this Lord and Master of the world. Sing with me if you can. रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता मेरे गणपति, तेरे कृपा से मुझको मिले सन्मति।
के दाता मेरे गणपति, तेरी कृपा से मुझको मिले सन्मति।
रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता मेरे गणपति, रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता मेरे गणपति, तेरे कृपा से मुझको मिले सन्मति।
रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता मेरे गणपति, तेरी कृपा से मुझको मिले सन्मति।
सबसे पहले के पूजा तेरे करता है,
सबसे पहले की पूजा तेरे करता है।
सबसे पहले के पूजा तेरे करता है।
सबसे पहले जो पूजा तेरे करता है।
गणपति तू अमंगल को हर लेता है। रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता मेरे गणपति,
तेरी कृपा से मुझको मिले सन्मति।
रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता मेरे गणपति, रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता मेरे गणपति,
तेरी कृपा से मुझको मिले सन्मति।
रस से तेरा पापों से भक्ति ले,
उदरस तेरा पापों से मुक्ति मिले।
मुझो जीवन मेरे तेरे भक्ति मिले।
रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता मेरे गणपति,
तेरे कृपा से मुझको मिले सन्मति।
रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता मेरे गणपति, तेरी कृपा से मुझको मिले सन्मति।
भोग मोदक का जो तुझको लग जाता है,
भोग मोदक का तुझको जो लग जाता है।
भोग मोदक का जो तुझको लग जाता है,
भोग मोदक का तुझको जो लग जाता है।
तू प्रसन्न होके मंगल की बरसाता है। रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता मेरे गणपति,
तेरी कृपा से मुझको मिले सन्मति।
रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता मेरे गणपति,
रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता मेरे गणपति,
ओ रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता मेरे गणपति, रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता मेरे गणपति, तेरे कृपा से मुझको मिले सन्मति।
रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता मेरे गणपति, तेरी कृपा से मुझको मिले सन्मति।
भाव से तेरा जग में जो वरदान करे,
भाव से तेरा जग में जो वंदन करे।
भाव से तेरा जग में जो वरदान करे,
भाव से तेरा जग में जो वंदन करे।
पाप अनेक गई सिद्धि के दाता मेरे गणपति,
रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता मेरे गणपति,
और रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता मेरे गणपति, तेरे कृपा से मुझको मिले सन्मति।
रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता मेरे गणपति, तेरी कृपा से मुझको मिले सन्मति।
सबसे पहले जो पूजा तेरे करता है,
सबसे पहले जो पूजा तेरे करता है,
सबसे पहले जो पूजा तेरे करता है,
सबसे पहले जो पूजा तेरे करता है।
गणपति तू अमंगल को हर देता है,
रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता मेरे गणपति,
रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता मेरे गणपति,
रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता मेरे गणपति,
तेरे कृपा से सबको मिले सन्मति,
तेरी कृपा से मुझको मिले सन्मति।
तेरे कृपा से सबको मिले सन्मति। प्रेम से बोलो श्री गजानन स्वामी की। My dear friends, today is Friday. It's the day that is dedicated to Ma Durga. And we have been saying all along, all over these many years, that without the blessings of Ma Durga, Girijanandani, Parvati, Uma, Shailaputri, without the blessings of this divine mother, we would not be able to have this Ganapati Baba in the world with us. So my dear friends, beautiful bhajan, put your hands and sing, win the grace of the divine. Jayatvam Devi Chamunde, Jai Bhutar Harani, Jai Sarvagate Devi, काल रात्रि नमस्तुते। अचल बरदानी, अचल बरदानी, अचल बरदानी रामा, अचल बरदानी, अचल बरदानी हो। जय जग जननी भवानी हो रामा, भवानी हो रामा, अचल बरदानी, गण जग जननी हो रामा। जगमग जगमग ज्योति विराज, और ज्योति विराजे सैया, ज्योति विराजे। जगमग जगमग ज्योति विराज, तेज प्रताप निदान हो रामा, निदान हो रामा, चल बरदानी। महिमा अगम अपार तुम्हार, अपार तुम्हारो सैया, पार तुम्हारो। महिमा अगम अपार तुम्हारो, शीश सुरेश न जानी हो राम, न जानी हो रामा, अचल बरदानी, गण जग जननी हो रामा। अचल बरदानी, अचल बरदानी, अचल बरदानी, अचल बरदानी, अचल बरदानी। धन जग जननी भवानी हो रामा भवानी हो रामा अचल वर दुख हरनी सुख संपद भरनी हो संपद भरनी माँ जय जय माँ दुख हरनी सुख संपद भरनी करनी सकल कल्याणी हो रामा अचल वरदान धन जग जननी अचल वरदानी अचल वरदानी अचल वर धन जग जननी भवानी हो राम भवानी हो रामा अचल वर हो धन जग जननी हो राम धन जग जननी भवानी हो रामा भवानी हो रामा चल वरदानी धन जग जननी हो रामा आज शक्ति दुर्गा देवी माता की. My dear friend, this is the time that you participate. You have not come here to spectate, but to let us see how you participate. Huh? Sitaram, 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 Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Sitaram. Ganesh Sharanam, Sharanam Ganesh. Ganapati Baba Moriya. Sitaram, 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 Sitaram. Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram. Usually, when a teacher teaches, he wants to be sure, she wants to be sure that the child is participating. I'll tell you here tonight, if I go to wait for these children here in front of me to participate, this course will never start. Why aren't you all singing? Well, they are saying silence is golden. So I hope that you are singing from your heart. Today you sit before the Mangal Murti of your Lord. I wish unto you that you receive his choicest blessings. He is that Lord who sharpens your intellect. He removes impediments and difficulties. May all your worries and troubles be vanished. And may you all be successful children in the world. My dear friends, Ganesh Purana is a very intriguing and exciting scripture. Sanatana Dharma is not based on one scripture alone. We have countless forms of God. And if it is to say that there is only one scripture that tells me of my Lord, then you are limiting my Lord. Therefore, God in Hinduism is limitless, is boundless, is omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient. He is Ajar, he is Amar, he is Avinashi. He is that sum total of the world. If only you could understand this and believe this. Not only understanding, we must have belief. If we don't have belief, my dear friends, then we are not going to get where we want to get. All that being said, welcome once more to those family members who are abroad, who are joining with us on our Facebook page. P.T. Gosain and Swasti Vachanam. Thank you all for your wonderful comments. Do enjoy tonight's proceedings. Tonight's Katha is a continuation of last night's Katha, where we saw in the Ganesh Purana that Girija, Mata Parvati, got herself in trouble. For those who weren't here, I'll bring you up to date very briefly. Mata Parvati or Girija, one day when the Lord was in dhyan meditation and he opened his eyes and he saw Mata Parvati massaging his feet, he said, Varmango Devi Askabun. And she says, oh Lord, I am all alone and you always in dhyan meditation. I want a putra, punya putra. I want a son. Not an ordinary son, not an ordinary child that the world will recognize. All of us want children that the world would recognize. Mata Girija, she wanted the same. And Bhagwan Shiva said, Tatastu, so shall it be, if this is your desire, if this is your wish. And my dear friends, Bhagwan Shiva outlined all the rites and rituals, the fast. And last night I went on to tell you, everybody was invited. All the devas, all the devatas. For those who weren't here last night, I'm not going into too much detail, but there were intricate designs. Mata Girija showed us that when we want to do a yajna, when we want to do brata, when we want to do fasting, how we must do it. When we do fast, when we do tirat, we must be prasanna, we must be pleasing, we must be loving, we must be kind. There must be no anger, there must be no hate. And I said last night, there is no big yajna and there is no small yajna. A yajna is an offering of love and affection. Well, Mata Parvati, she invited, she orchestrated every single thing in her Mount Kailash Parvat, that was her home, her residence. And together with her was Lord Ashutosha. Bhagwan Shiva was side by side with her. Beyond description. Last night we went on to some very ticklish point. I don't have the time to go over that. But just to tell you, the fast has come to an end. The rites and rituals, I spoke of the importance of rites and rituals. That rites and rituals must not be curtailed. It must not be circumvented. What is rites and rituals must be performed. It's through the mediums of rites and rituals we will get blessings. Not by tradition. Tradition, my dear friends, I said, is there to be broken. It is there to be broken. A simple tradition. A tradition, and this is not a rite or a ritual. Traditionally speaking, when our mothers and our daughters sit to pray, what they must do? They must cover their head. But most of the time, the urni does slip off. It's a difficult thing to keep the urni on the head. Not so? Nothing is wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with that. Tradition is there to be broken. A few years ago, we did a Ganesh Pujan for instructional purposes. Understand the difference? Because of the COVID and so forth, for instructional purposes. It was not there to show how beautiful we can do it, but my dear friends, in orchestrating all of this, the person who was doing the puja, the urni slipped off the head, and everybody criticized it. I told you last night in the Rama in Tulsidas says that there are some people with 1,000 eyes, but they see nothing good by. There are some people with 1,000 ears, but they don't hear nothing good. Our scriptures tell us you must take the good out of everything that you encounter. But my dear friends, when you sit to pray, like Mandodari, she protected her husband, the evil King Ravan. And whenever she prayed, she covered her head. And she hold on to the two ends of the urni and she jore it in her hands. Sometimes people don't know how to use the urni. That is how it was meant. The two ends of the urni, when you sit to pray, my dear, if you really want your prayers answered, pull the two ends of the urni, mothers and sisters, daughters that is, and you pray to that Lord. Nobody could have touched Ravan until the Lord decided the time is now. Dashrath, all his ancestors tried to kill Ravana, but nobody could have touched him because of the sincere prayer of a mother, the sincere prayer of the wife. So my dear friends, we are coming back to this message from last night. The fast, the breath comes to an end. And I ended up by saying to you last night a very ticklish point that people don't like to talk about. Pundits don't like to talk about. People don't like to hear. But at the end of every yajna, there is something that you must do. Plenty of people forget, you know. Do you know that? People forget what they have to do. It's not only to feed the people and give them prasad and panchamrit. There is something you must do after your rites and ritual, and that is to give what? Dachina. What is dachina? Dachina is gift that you give to someone for having performed a duty towards you. Very simple. And no yajna is complete without dachina. How much do you give for dachina? What do you give for dachina? It is all up to you as an individual. I mentioned last night there are some $500 pundits, $1,000 pundit, 2,000, 5,000. That is them. But my dear friends, you give with a true conscience, a good heart. If you have to build a house, if you have to build your home, what do? You get the architect to make a plan. Do you tell him thank you? When the builder comes and the builder starts to build with 40 and 50 workers, you shake his hand and tell him, go ahead, here's a piece of roti. It's the same thing that we do all through our lives. When you work every single morning, what do you expect? Your boss to say, hey, you're a nice boy. You don't expect that. You expect something in return. Well, my dear friends, in these katha, Bhagwan Krishna is telling Maharaj Yudhishthir, when you perform rites and ritual, there must be no expectation. How many of us? How many of us sincerely pray and don't ask God for anything? We all ask, don't we? It is human tendency. It is human nature to ask. And nothing is wrong with that. For all through our scriptures, from time to time, we see people have asked. And you know what? They get what they wanted. So, in last night's katha, Parvati, Girija Nandani, as she was called, she is saying to the Brahman, and the Brahman is Sanat Kumar. Who is Sanat Kumar? He is one of the mind-born son of Brahma. The mind-born son of Brahma. And there were four brothers, Sanat Kumar, Sanak, Sanandan, Sanatan, and Sanat Kumar. And these four individuals, my dear friends, they are forever brilliant. But Sanat Kumar, he was the most brilliant in performing rites and rituals. Hence, Lord Shiva and Girija Nandani, they choose the most worthy recipient to perform their rites and rituals. There was none better than him. And he performed all the rites and rituals. I wanted to make a point last night that I did not make. And I'll say it tonight. When you are having a yajna, 7 nights, 5 nights, whatever you can afford, to your heart's content. Remember last night I said, don't hang your heart where you can't reach. One night is good enough. It's a yagya. My dear friends, the yagya, you see that position? Last night, those who were here, I told you Goddess Parvati and Lord Shiva assigned position to everybody in the yagya. Who was responsible for this? Who was the executive president of the yagya? So massive yagya he had. You see that Purohit? That Pujari that does the rites and rituals? You don't change him every day. And that is what we see in today's world. If you want to have a yagya and you want your merits, you don't put Pandit X today, Pandit Y tomorrow. That is not because of convenience. Those are serious matters. And when we do that, my dear friends, we put ourselves in difficulties. Asking why we are not seeing our way and getting our results. Do the right thing. You see this seat that I sit on? It is not a competition seat. When I look around today, first 3 nights, this Baba, and he coming with 25 maxis. And the next 3 nights is Pandit X Baba, and he want to outdo the next 3 night Pandit, he go with 35 maxis. Do you think that is right? This seat, this Singhasan, is an asan that is called the Vedvyas asan. If you are having a yagya, last night I mentioned that Bhagwan Shiva gave the time, give the date. When you have these yagya, you don't do it because of convenience. You do it because of getting results. And if you do it like this, my dear friends, you don't change Vyas every day. A Vyas must start and a Vyas must end. Then the last night of the yagya, an Ashidvar comes. Shiva Hare, Shiva Rama Sakhe Prabhu. And I know you all know this, my dear friends. And most of you do it. But when you look around in society today, check all the radio stations. Different pundits. These are serious times. These are difficult times. And the time has come for us to reap our merits. So Parvati, Girija Nandini and Bhagwan Shiva, they orchestrated this whole yagya. And when the yag, my dear friends, came at the end, Parvati Ma is saying, Girija is saying, "O Brahman, tell me what do you want?" And the Brahman is saying, "O Girija, you have performed your fast. It has come to an end. I really don't want to ask for anything." But Parvati, in her ways and manners, you know what she is saying to the Brahman? If a person don't have, then they can't give. But me, I am Girija. I am the consort of Bhagwan Bam Bole Mahadev. Look at all, I am in a position to give. Therefore, I want to give, but I want to give to please you. But Tavo, tell me, what do you want? You think you could tell your Baba that? You find yourself in difficulty? Huh? This Brahman did not want to ask. And when Parvati went on like this in this manner, then he said, "Very well, since you have and you can give, I am going to ask of you something. Please give to me." And when he opened his mouth and he asked, Parvati, like she's dazed. She don't know what to do. And this Brahman, Sant Kumar, he asked that if you please with me, your prayers will be answered. Give to me Ashutosh Devadidev Mahadev. Did you think Parvati wanted to hear that? Huh? Do you think the Lord Devi Ma wanted to hear that? No, my dear friends. She did not want to hear those words. And she's in despondency. She don't know what to do. And she's speaking in many terms to this Brahman, Sant Kumar. She went on to say to him, what is the use of having a son in place of a husband? And my dear friends, she was very saddened about this. Bhagwan Krishna is explaining this beautiful katha to Maharaj Yudhishthir. No, Maharaj Yudhishthir, he was in great difficulty. He had lost all his possession, poor fella. And last night I was telling my brother-in-law, he went to Bhagwan Krishna because Krishna was his friend. But who is Lord Krishna? You will listen to tonight's katha, the greatness of Lord Krishna. All these divinities have their position and they're for a purpose. My dear friends, Krishna is God. He is the same substratum. And Yudhishthir sit before him, but Yudhishthir did not believe that Krishna could help him with his difficulties. So you see, my dear friends, if you stand before this Mangal Murti and you don't have the anurag, the feeling, the biswas, the shraddha, then what is the use? Here it is, Maharaj Yudhishthir sit before the Lord and Master Krishna, and Lord Krishna is saying, if you want to regain your lost possession, concentrate on Maha Ganapati. This is the activities of the Lord. The Lord will always give. Well, if you don't believe in me, then focus your mind on this. Remember Lord Vishnu got himself in problem the first night of the katha. Lord Ganesh had to come and help him, assist him in removing his difficulty. He is given the position that any difficulty that you may have, he is able and competent to remove it all. So Girija Nandini, she's in a predicament. And in this predicament that she's in, my dear friends, everybody is silent in Mount Kailash Parvat. What is going to happen now? I mentioned to you there are different kind of yogis. There are different kind of pundits. There are some pundits who are very cool and calm. If you play with their hair and things, they like that. If you talk to them nice, they like that more. But have some pundits, they're not easy at all. Don't pray to bounce up one like Durvasha Rishi. He'll lick you up one time. The point I am making, my dear friends, we have to know how to interrelate with people. Interrelate with our holy ones. Very importantly. And so it is, my dear friends. He has a stern face, fixed mind. If you want to give me Dachna, I will take nothing else than Bam Bamboli Mahadev, Adi Dev Dina Bandhu Dinanath. Parvati is in great despondency. And you see, all those who were present, not a person could say a word. For they would have been out of place to even say or utter a word. That is between the Yajman and the Purohit, the Brahmin. And they are all observing Vishnu Bhagwan, Brahma, Adi Dev, Nar Narayan. Again, they are all observing. Let us see what is going to play off. Mind you, Girija Parvati, Nandini, and Shiv Shankar Ashutosh, they wanted to give the world something. And all of this is taking place in presenting this Maharudra, Gam Ganapati, to us in the world. So it's great predicament. It is not an easy thing that we have this Mangal Murti. Great sacrifices went on for us to have this, that we can pray today conscientiously, open-heartedly, community worship all over the world. My dear friends, Bhagwan Shiva is looking at Goddess Parvati with a day's heart. He says, Parvati, all the time I have been speaking to you, not in words, but in communicative language, just by looking at her. Oh Girija, look at the predicament that you have found yourself in today. How could I help you? How could I help you, my dear friends? And all the different scriptures, narrators, they are saying that all Girija could have done is put her hands together. You see, this Parvati, she's a very unique character. Many times she doubted the Lord, this very same Lord. And every time she doubted the Lord, she put the Lord to the test. The Lord closed his eyes and went into meditation. The Lord never tell her anything. But our prem says so much love we have for her. And my dear friends, he is smiling in his heart. Do you know when somebody's smiling in their heart? Some people will be laughing at you and you wouldn't know they're laughing at you, Well, my dear friend, Lord Shiva is not mocking her. He is not mimicking her. But my dear friends, he is smiling. Hare, 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 Parvati. What would I say again? Look at the position you put yourself in. Why did you have to tell the Brahman? You couldn't give the Brahman what you wanted to give him? But you see, Parvati, she had so many people around. And she wanted to show the power that she possessed. She does possess power, my dear friends. But my dear friends, in this case, she found herself in difficulty. So she placed her hands together. Mental communication with the Lord. Whose Lord? Her Lord. She's a bit embarrassed. And the only way she can win his grace is by surrendering herself to her. And my dear friends, she began to pray. Put your hands together. Om Jai 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 Mahadev. Om Jai 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 Mahadev. Everybody. Sweetambar Pitambar Katni Bhagambar Saje Kati Me Bhagambar Saje Galmala Rundanati Galmala Rundanati Karadamaru Vaje. Om Jai 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 Bhakta Pyare, dear devotees, when you are in difficulties, what do? You surrender yourself to that. Mata Parvati, Girija Nandini, Jagadambika Devi. She speaks to the Lord in beautiful, praising Him, describing how great He is. Om Jai 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 Mahadev.
Om Jai 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 Mahadev.
Sheesh jata beh Ganga, Ujjwal Chanda nan sohe. Ujjwal Chanda nan sohe. Swami samadhi lagaye, Swami samadhi lagaye, Tribhuvan manno. Om Jai 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 Mahadev.
Jai Jai
नीलकंठ भक्तन हित तुमनि विष के पान किया, तुमने विष के पान किया, तुमने विष के पान किया, असुरों को संगर दर के त्राण किया। ओम जय 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 महादेव।
ओम जय 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 महादेव। ओम जय 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 महादेव।
Silently she is saying to him, "Oh Lord, I need your help. Please help me. How could I give you away? It makes no sense in doing this breath, this fast. If I lose you, what could I do? What is the use of watering the branches of a tree and leaving the roots behind? The tree will never receive maximum nourishment." She is speaking her heart to the Lord. What is the use of the principle if the principle has left? What is the use? There is no interest. How could I forsake you? How could I live without you when the world was in a predicament? You came to the assistance by drinking that deadly poison. My life is poisoned today. Oh Bambamboli Mahadev. Oh Pritam, oh my beloved, I need you. Please help me now. Don't leave me in this predicament. Om Jai 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 Mahadev.
Om Jai 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 Mahadev.
रूप अलौकिक अर्धरणीश्वर तुम हो त्रिपुरारी, त्रिलोचन तुम हो त्रिपुरारी, त्रिलोचन तुम हो त्रिपुरारी। शिव शंकर प्रलयंकर, शिव शंकर प्रलयंकर, तांडव गति गाई। ओम जय 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 महादेव। ओम जय 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 महादेव। जय 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 Mahadev. She poured her hearts out to that Lord Bam Bam Buli Mahadev. And not only did she pour her hearts out, all the special invited guests who were there, they all took the opportunity to put their hands together as Devi Ma prayed. They also, my dear friends, surrender them. All asking for a resolution to this problem. My dear friends, Bhagwan Shiva, he went and sat next to Girija Nandini. When the wife in difficulty, the husband don't go 10 feet away. The husband goes to comfort the wife, to make her comfortable. So Bhagwan Shiva, he went and he sat right next to Girija. Well, the scripture is not saying if he hug her, if he is touching her, if he's cajoling her, but he's looking at her in her eyes. A beautiful sight. You know, my dear friends, in the world today, husband and wife have lost attraction for each other. We are seeing so much of broken marriages because individuals are too busy. Tonight I'm speaking about the husband and wife. Lord Shiva, who is Antaryami, he sees his wife in difficulty. And look at the predicament you put yourself in. He went and tries to comfort her. And my dear friend, very silently, Girija speaks to Bhagwan Shiva. And in Ganesh Purana, it is not written there. But Girija is trying to remind Bhagwan Shiva of certain things in the past. And the only place I could find those words is in Tulsi Krit Ramayana. And I'm showing you, my dear friends, that all our scriptures are interwoven together. When I read the first night and I said to you that Bhagwan Vishnu was in Dhyan meditation and out of his ears 2 demons came out, Madhu and Kaitai Devi Bhagwat. But in Ganesh Purana, it is there. So if you do not know how to cross-reference the scriptures, then my dear friends, all you will get is a story. And this scriptures is not about a story. For I am not a storyteller. I'm here to interpret these words. So in the Ramayana, Tulsidas, and Tulsidas is a great poet. Tulsidas captured a wonderful moment in Girija Parvati's life. You want to hear what it is? And she is reminding her husband. And mind you, in this year, we have not started to speak about Lord Ganesha yet. Ganesh is listening because these are wonderful pastime of his mother and father. And nothing pleases Bhagwan Ganapati than to hear about his mother and father. That is why he is called Pratham Pujya. Because when he was asked to go around the universe, why Skanda Swami Kartikeya was going around the universe 3 times, galloping with his crane, Bhagwan Ganapati went around his mother and father. He loves to hear the episode of his, and he's listening, and he has a beautiful smile on his face. And his mother and father will be saying here that they want to pray and fast to present you and I with a son of theirs. So Girija Nandini, she is speaking to Lord Shiva very silently, and everybody trying to hear in the audience what she is saying to her husband. Huh? Doha. Duni suni deho Rama, duni suni deho Rama, Hari ho Rama milan kab ho, ande sawa lag rahe.
Hari ho Ram milan kab ho, ande sawa lag rahe.
Trikalakya sarga tum Rama, Rama 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 ho, gati subat tumhar, ande sawa lag rahe. Hari ho Rama
kab ho, ande sawa lag rahe.
kaho sute hi dosha gun, Rama 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 ho, munivar hridaya vichar, ande sawa lag rahe. Hari ho Rama milan kab ho, ande sawa lag rahe. Hari ho Rama milan kab ho, ande sawa lag rahe. She's saying, O Deen Dayalu Kripa Sagar, how could I give you up? What would I do without you? I fought to have you. I sacrificed my life to have you. And she's trying to cajole her husband because she knows there's only one person could help her. And who is that one person? It's the Lord. Bhagwan Shankar. And she says, Hey Deen Dayalu. And one thing I observe in our scriptures is, you see, when the devas and thing, and especially Parvati and Lord Shiva, when Parvati have a little difficulty, they choose, Parvati ma choose nice words to address, nice adjectives. When my daughter was writing, when they was writing the script to play on the road, I said, use some good adjective to tell the people of this celebration. And they did a wonderful job, I must say. Adjectives are used to describe things. So Parvati ma, she says, Hey Bhuvaneshwar, remember when I was in my father's home in the Himalayan mountain, my father's name Himachal, my mother's name Sunaina Rani. Remember, I was young and tender. Do you remember the great sage Narad Muni? He came there. And I know you, O Bhagwan, you sent Narad the sage there. And when my father, when he welcomed that great Muni, that great sage into our abode, my father called me and he says, Oh Muniraj, Narad, you are Trikal Dashi, you are to know of the past, the present and the future. Dekho, this is my Kanya Girija Parvati. I want you to tell me, oh Narad, what is in store for her. I want you to tell me what is her lifespan. I want you to tell me what is the good things in her life and her bad things in her life. Because you, O Narad, you are versed in the astrological charts. Don't we all do this sometimes? Huh? From time to time you go by your pundit and you check your astrological charts. Everybody wants to know what's in store with them. Well, now they're not going mad. Now they're Googling it on the internet now. Swipe in their credit card, Prak. Swipe in their credit card and pin a little 2-3 US. Bashkar is right there. Everything is at our fingertips now. And nothing is wrong with that. If you want to swipe your credit card and you don't have time to go at it, I could give you a good website to go on. You get accurate information. But it is not free. Like nothing else in the world is free. You have to pay for it. Did Girija Nandini, did she thought that the Purohit coming to do the prayers was free? She has to pay. And now she's paying the price. The Brahman asks for her husband. The Lord, he wants the Lord to be with him at all times. And that was a philosophical asking, you know. He didn't want Lord Shiva physically to go home with him, you know. He wanted the Lord to be with him as a bhakta, as a devotee. Anytime he called upon him, he should be right there. So he's saying, Narad Muni started to explain to my father. And I was sitting there. But in the beginning, when Narad was explaining all my astrological charts, oh Prabhu, I was getting angry. Why was she getting angry? Listen. Ram, 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 Bolo Ram, Ram, Ram.
Ram 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 bolo Ram Ram Ram.
Ram, 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 Bolo Ram, Ram, Ram.
Ram 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 bolo Ram Ram Ram.
Kaha Muni, Hare Kaha Muni, Vesa, Grind Mridubani, Suta Tumhar, Sakal Gunakani, Ram, Ram, Ram.
Bolo Ram Ram Ram. Ram 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 bolo Ram Ram
It was not my desire to read to you from the Ramayana. But my dear friend, this is where the words are enshrined. And Narad Muni is saying, O Himachal, I will tell you all about this Kanya. I will tell you all. Naam Uma Ambika Bhavani. She'll be called Uma. She'll be called Ambika. The whole world will sing her praises. She will bring to you great name and fame. The whole world will praise you, O Himachal. And Mata Sunaina and Himachal, they were happy. Which parent will not be happy when they hear all these good astrological charts about their child? Won't you be happy? But my dear friends, after Narad sees all the good things, he says, Parantu. Parantu means but. But in English is a difficult conjunction word, you know. Eh? Something will come after that. He said, but listen, Parvati, while her mother and father is happy, she is very sad. But now, Narad Muni said, but Parantu, listen. Listen to these setbacks in her life. And this is where Parvati perked her head up. And she says, oh Bhavani, oh Bhagwan Shiva, when I started to listen to the setbacks in my life, joy came to my heart. Peace came to my heart. Happiness came to me. Magna, I become ecstatic. Why would a person become ecstatic and happy and so thrilling to hear the bad things about them? Would you do that? Huh? Would you be sad? So let us hear what Narada is saying is the bad things. And this is what she wants to let Lord Shiva knows. She wants to remind him. She wants to win his grace. She knows the weak spot. Doesn't the wife who are here in the audience and who are listening, do you know the weak spot of your pati? Of your husband? Huh? Nobody answering? Children, do you know the weak spot of your parents? Husband, do you know the weak spot of your wife? It all comes with communication. How we communicate, how we live. That is something that we need to build in our relationships. So, listen to this setback in Girija's life that make her happy. Prasann huye. She was overjoyed. And this is what she wants Lord Shiva to know. How could I give you up, O Lord? How could I give you up to this Brahman? Is he mad? Hare Bap Re Bap. Yogi Jatili Akam Manan Nagan Amanga Yogi Bijogi Akam Manan Gagan Amangal Mahe Purana Asa Swami All I'm going to read for you is the Doha. Other Chaupais came. You know what Narada is saying? And when Narada is saying these setbacks, all the time the good thing, the mother and father was happy and Parvati was saddened. But now the setback, Parvati is happy, but the mother and father is sad. He says this Uma, this Girija, this setback in her life, she will get married to a madman. A man who is stuck naked most of the time. A jogi, a yogi. Parvati is in dhyan. She's in meditation. When Narada is explaining her setback, she's happy. But this is what she wanted to hear. She wanted to hear that her Lord is going to reunite with her. And today, she is asking to give him up. Not so easy. Narada is saying, "O Himachal, the man who your daughter will get married to, he will have gunners, messengers, attendants, some with no head, some with big belly, some with no hands, some with no eyes, and they'll be rolling on the ground. They will live in the cemetery. The man who your daughter will get married to, he will also like to play in the cemetery." Which parents would like to hear that? Huh? Not me. I have 2 daughters and me, I want to hear that. Would you want to hear that? But Parvati, man mein prasann huwe. She is happy. Because these astrological charts are telling of her Lord, her master, her supreme survivor. And my dear friends, she is trying to win the grace. Oh Ashutosh, oh Dev Adi Dev. Do you remember? Huh? Please don't leave me. I can't give you away. If I give you away, I will be reduced to nothing in the world. Tulsidas is a prolific writer. He captured those beautiful words for us. But my dear friends, Ganesh Purana is telling us Bhagwan Shiva is speaking to Goddess Parvati. And what is he saying to her? Huh? One thing I'll tell you about Lord Shiva is he don't hold back nothing, you know. Huh? He say what he has to say, but with tact. He says, "Oh Devi, you have to give Dachina. Why don't you give me? Give me to the Brahman. You give your word. You told the Brahman that anything he wants, I am Girija, I am Parvati, Mount Kailash is mine, I live here. I could give. If you refuse to give the asking price, then oh Girija, then your sacrifice, your austerities, your yajna will not come to an end. You are not going to get your merits or your heart's desire." How do you think she's feeling now? Huh? Great despondency. Her head bent on the feet of the Lord. "Hey Prabhu, help me now. What can I do?" All the devatas, Vishnu, Brahma, Shiva, in one way they came, and he is telling Goddess Parvati, Girija, Nandini, that you have to give. Only bad things could come by not giving what you promise. When you make a promise, my dear friends, you must maintain it. You must maintain it. Raja Dashrath, when he went to hunt in the forest, and accidentally he shot Sarwan Kumar. You all know that katha. And Sarwan Kumar told him, "O Maharaj Dashrath, I am Sarwan. I am here performing seva to my mother and father. They are 2 blind individuals. But through your ignorance, you have shut me in my heart. My Atma, my soul wants to leave, but your arrow is keeping it back. I want you to pull it out. Pull out this arrow so my soul can leave." Pinjare ke panchire. The bird is trapped in a cage. Great philosophy he teaches. He said, "Parantu, but again, before you pull this arrow out from my heart, I want you to promise me that you will fill this kamandal with water, and you will go by my 2 blind parents, and you will cajole them, dular se, pet them, speak to them nice words, loving words, and allow them to drink this water. And only after they have quenched their thirst, tell them what happened to me. Tell them that you have shut me. and I have died. Mar gaye. You know what Bhagwan Shiva tells to the world? He says, oh Girija Parvati, dekho. Look at Maharaj Dashrath, a person who had everything in the world. He didn't have to fight for anything. Look at the predicament he found himself in. So too we all, little things we do sometimes put us in great difficulty. Bhagwan Shiva says, Dampati. You know what Dampati means? He even say hair. And he promised Sarvan that he will cajole his mother and father. He will pet them. He will quench their thirst. Once you give a promise, my dear friends, you must try to maintain it. Else bad karma will come your path. So my dear friends, we are coming back to the Ganesh Purana, whereby Parvati Ma, Girija, she is there in a despondent. Brahma, Vishnu, and Sant Kumar, the priest, he is like, why all this hullabaloo? Huh? Why all this hullabaloo? I said I didn't wanted anything. Or you're making me feel bad now. I didn't wanted nothing, but you insisted that I ask. And when I ask, I look like the culprit. Is that fair? You think that is fair to him? No, my dear friends, it is not fair. And my dear friends, in so saying, in so doing, when nobody could intervene, out from the Akash, out from the heavenly region, a beautiful chariot descended, with attendants on all sides. And my dear friends, when that chariot came, that chariot uttered these words. The personality in that chariot, we are told, Sankha Chakra Gara Padma. Who do you think that is? Huh? Put your hands together. Shantakaram Bhujagashainam Parvanavam Suresham Vishwadaram Gagana Sadvisham Meghavarnam Subhangam Lakshmi Kantam Kamalana Ainam Yogi Bhiryana Gamyam Bande Vishnu Bhava Haranam Salvalokai Kanatam. See, my dear friends, all the divine embodiments had a play, had a part in bringing this Mangal Murti into the world. Just for who? For you and I to surrender ourselves. They all sanctioned this. Trilokikinath, Sankha Chakra Gara Padma Bhushan Banamala, he speaks. He says, O Devi Girija Nandani, it is your duty to give, but that which is given in Dachina, hear it very carefully, I don't know if you all have heard these things before. I myself is intrigued when I read these things. He says, everything that you give in Dachina, if you pay a price, you can take it back. You want me to say it for you again? Anything you give in Dachina, if you pay a price, you can take it back. Pandit Judish, doesn't people give Gaudan? What has happened in today's world when they give Gaudan? Eh? You think only Babaras take it? Huh? All you feel like telling all your nonsense? Vishnu Bhagwan, he says, anything, Devi, that you give in Dachina, if you give, you could take it back with a price if you negotiate well. Sometimes, my dear friends, people give Gaudan. They insist that people give Gaudan. I don't know why they insist. And when they leave in, they don't take the cow. When they leave in, they don't take the cow. They will say, well, you know what? I have no place to manage, but you give me so much and so much for the cow now. And you go give it to somebody. Same thing the Katha is saying. And when Bhagwan Vishnu speaks like this, he says, Devi Girija, anything you give in Dan, you can take it back for a price. Therefore, give. Parvati didn't want to hear that. He said, give Ashutosh. And in so doing, my dear friends, Parvati with tears in her eyes, that chariot disappeared. And could you imagine all the other devatas who were there? When they saw that, they were frightened, they were scared. Nobody is saying nothing. Nobody is uttering a word. And my dear friend, there comes a time for you to speak, and there comes a time, chup raho, you must stay. Time, desh, kal, avasar, that is nobody place to intervene. Brahma, Vishnu, and certain devatas, when Lord Shiva asked their opinion, they commented, but nobody else. Sometimes you must know our place, when to speak, when not to speak. Sometimes, my dear friends, people are out of context. I remember when I was building this house. You know, people tell me I'm building the house wrong. Prak. I said, no, this is a rectangle. They all have their own opinion. Everybody wants to tell you to do what is with your thing. When Hanuman got the mala, the Ratnoki mala, that Bibhishan give to Shri Sita and Shri Sita give to Hanuman. Hanuman is taking the mala and he's looking at the beads. He burst the mala, Garje, he bit the bead and he tossed it to the ground. And everybody wanted to ask Hanuman what he doing, but nobody had. You know what I want to say? Nobody had the audacity to ask. But one man in the audience stood up. Hey Balwan, hey Mahavir, you have no respect for the gift that was given to you? I think that man was out of place, because that is Hanuman's mala. He is free to do what he wants with his mala, but somebody else is questioning, asking what he doing with his mala. So too people are. This is why I always tell people, beat your drum and sing live your life. Don't live other people's life. Don't let other people tell you how to live I say no more. You see that Maharaj who stood up and questioned Hanuman, he fell down and got a heart attack. When Hanuman, Jai Shri Ram, burst his chest to show the world that material things means nothing if it has no divinity in it. Girija, she sang. That Akash, that divinity disappeared. And so it is, Bhagwan Shiva, he says, O Girija, the time has come. The time has come for you to give me in Dakshina. She went before with a heavy heart, before Sant Kumar. And Sant Kumar, my dear friends, he is very still. You think he feeling sorry? You think he is feeling remorse? Oh, Parvati, forget it now. Not this Brahman. Huh? Not this Brahman. You see, my dear friends, this thing about Dakshina, plenty of people afraid to talk about it, But they push in all away. All about it. Everybody afraid to talk about Dakshina. But these are things that we must know. If somebody performs a service to you, you must give them what is just to them. And I want to break it down a little bit. Sometimes people feel the Pandit has a duty to come and serve them for thank you. Don't you think Pandit have to, I'm saying it generally, I'm not talking about me. Don't you think Pandit have to carry PA system? He have to carry his group. He have to carry a drummer. Don't you think about these things? I'm speaking wholeheartedly. If somebody come and perform a service to you, then use your sense and give, which they could be comfortable. Many years ago, before my Dada died, Dada Basdev, before he died, I used to go Ramayana all over the place and read. And one day, there was a wedding taking place in a village, and I was foremost amongst them, where a wealthy man was speaking to my dada and saying that, you know, he said, birthday, we think this is right? Some rites they had at their home, and they couldn't get a pundit to read. So they get somebody from Tanapuna. But again, I don't know if that was your father, huh? But I think somebody from on that side. So this individual traveled on the bus route, or not with car, and he come every night and he gave them a little hour and a half the message. And when time for him to go home, this is discussion. They put him in a taxi, drop him in the crazy, and he had to fend himself to go home. For 11 nights, he did that. And the day of the Bandara, you know, he had to go to Siddha. And the Mahagyani Pandit comes, and he take all, and didn't take out one for that old man, Pandit, who came in the time of difficulty. So, this Brahman, he was a shrewd Brahman. He wrote a note. And bold-faced enough, the man, the wealthy man, is showing my dada this note. And pokyish me reading the note. You know what the note said? For my services, transportation, he had $1 value. For the time that I spent, $1 value. And I remember it came up to $420. So my dada was a witty old man. Robert, you know what he said? He said, but ain't you have money? Ain't you give 11 siddha? I sure you put one blues inside because you have money? So what happened? You couldn't take one of that siddha and give this old man? Huh? But that wealthy man is condemning the old man because he sent him a little bill. Common sense must be. People don't want to talk about these things. I do not know, my dear friends, how long I will live again. I take it in front. I am taking in front. These are the misconceptions in people's mind. Treat your pundits well. Don't treat them like scorn. Sometimes when there is wedding ceremony, nobody pay attention to the pundit. If they could whine on the head, they whine on the head. Not my head. People just discard their pundits. And why? I remember, my dear friends, when I first came down from America, and people know that I was a pundit, there was a wedding rite in Barataria. And I was asked to perform this wedding. And I went. And on the Hardy night, these ladies were cursing me. All sorts of bad words. They were cursing me. And they feel that was right. And you know what I did? I called the owner of the house. I said, Bhaiya, you see them ladies and them? They curse me about my mother. Ask them to stop it. He said, Baba, I can't stop them now. They was just eating there and they drink a set of thing. Not Coke and orange juice. How I could stop them? I said, well, if you can't stop them, me, I not mixing matters. My time is very important to me. You know what I did? I say what I had to say and get up and leave. I hadn't even come downstairs to put already. You think I cared? Huh? If you show no respect to me, my dear friend, I'm not going to disrespect you, but I'll do what I think is best. I went to Felicity many years ago to read Ramayana. Somebody died. I don't even know the people. And while I'm reading the Katha, somebody saying all kind of agar-bagar in the back. And I'm bending behind all the posts to see who's saying what. They're so covered, they won't say what they have to say. Jacques, do you remember that? Harry and Tarif and them was there. You know what I did? I leave my book. I leave my house. I say, fellas, all you bring that up the road. And I go on. Time is important. Do not disrespect your pundits. Do not disrespect them. Huh? Sometimes, my dear friend, when people die and they want people to come and read, right? They feel it as a service that we have to give. No, my dear, the Katha is saying these things. Pundits are afraid to talk about these things. They fear people will vex with them. If you're vexed with me, my dear friends, I lose nothing. But these are the things that happen in the world. Huh? Just last night I was telling my brother-in-law, stayed around the table, when they have weddings sometimes, you know the pirha? Had to puja with that pirha, and they puja with that so the dulahan to then could sit and perform rites and rituals. And they put 5 pan leaf on that pirha. Well, the dulahin father and the dulaha father, they got together and they planned what they're going to do. You know, you have to match the money you put in there. So you see, when I put $100, you go put $100. And I'll go down to $50, and you go put $50. And I'll go down to $20. And they plan out the thing. You think the pundit really want that money? That is the mentality of people. And my dear friends, I am not making up these things, you know. These are the things that we see in today's world. And the very same thing we see in this katha. Parvati found herself in difficulty. The Pandit is saying nothing. The Brahman is saying nothing. So it comes, he says, "O Brahman Devata, with a heavy heart," listen to this now. You must never give nothing with a heavy heart. You'll get heart attack and death. When you give with an open heart. I mean, you have to go and cut open your heart. Open mind. Give freely. Whatever little you can give. He says, Parvati says, with a heavy heart. He says, no, Bhaiya. No, Devi. I don't want you to give me nothing with a heavy heart. If you want to give to me openly. Bhagwan Shiva is saying, Devi, give to the Brahman. Give to the Brahman that which is you promised. And my dear friend, with Sankalp mantras, Bhagwan Shiva symbolically was given. And the Brahman is very, very happy. And he was about to leave Parvati in her wittiness. She says, "O Brahman Devata, you heard what Mahavishnu says, Mohamaya, that anything can be taken back for a fee. Therefore, I want back my husband." He said, "But this Brahman remind me of myself, you know." He said, "But you see me, I am a Purohit. I am a Brahman. I am not a trader, I am not a businessman. I am not here to bargain with you and business with you. I came and do my rites and ritual. Now that I've got what is mine, I am ready to leave." He says, "No, Brahman Devata, look at me. I am despondent. How could a fish live on land without water? How could a fish?" Sita Mata said the same thing to Sri Ram. "Oh Sri Ram, you want to go to the forest for 14 years and leave me behind? How could a fish live without water? I will be like that fish, I will die. If your home is in the forest, then there shall be my life, there shall be my heaven." And the same thing Parvati Mai is saying, "O Brahman Sanat Kumar, I am incomplete." She went on too far to say, Bhagwan Shiva is incomplete without Shakti. Did the Pratna I sing just now, do you all remember those words? Ardhanishwar. Ardhanishwar. Lord Shiva, there's a painting of him, half man, half woman. You all see that picture? They are inseparable. Shiva and Shakti, they are one. And the Brahman knows that. Right? Then he says, "I am not going to give up. I am taking my Lord with me." And my dear friends, out of the heavenly regions, there appeared a beautiful individual. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. My dear friend, you heard the blowing of the basuri. Dressed in pitambar, yellow cloth, Mor Mukut, Bhagwan Krishna appeared. In every Ganesh Yagya, Krishna worship is a must. One of the charitra, and I'm concluding now, one of the charitra in our Ganesh Purana is that on the Chaturthi night, one of the big debate we have is that you mustn't look at the moon. And you all know that? Some of you 60 years, 59 years, every year we know that. So for on Ganesh Chaturthi, your gods and look at the moon. Huh? But Ganesh Purana tells us everybody will look at the moon. Nobody escape. Don't anybody fool all here. He says if that happens, then in the Ganesh Purana, worship Bhagwan. That's why in every Ganesh Purana, one night is dedicated to Lord Krishna. In case accidentally somebody see the moon, or willfully see the moon, may you, Lord Krishna, fulfill your promise in purifying. My dear friends, in India, Ganesh Chaturthi, huge murti, fireworks, and everybody watching fireworks. Huh? But in China, I send up Vinag get some fireworks for us. We send up a little thing to celebrate Ganesh birthday. We're doing something bad. Our scripture says that worship Bhagwan Krishna and all that nanghan will be removed. So my dear friends, don't let these minuscule things affect you. Our scripture is in Krishna Bhagwan. He says, O Brahman Devta, Sant Kumar, Shiv Shakti is inseparable. Therefore, return Bhagwan Krishna, return Bhagwan Shiva, where he rightfully belongs, in the hands of Devi Parvati. And in return, you shall receive Kamdhenu, the celestial cow, the most spiritual cow, who is a representation of Bhagwan Vishnu, Bhagwan Krishna. And my dear friends, Bhagwan Krishna disappeared. Sant Kumar, with a smiling heart, he says, O Devi, you have given to me with a heavy heart, but today, with a pleasing heart, man me prasann hove, I bless you. I bless you, O Devi. The son which you desire shall come to you. The son which you fasted and prayed so hard for will come to you. Continue your fast. Be steadfast. And this son that comes to you, he'll be worshipped throughout the world. The world will sing his praises. And you, O Devi Parvati, O Bhagwan Shankar, you'll be part and parcel of that celebration. Parim Smolo Shri Gajanana Swami ki. My dear friends, I had to summarize, as I told you last night, this entire episode is 47 pages long. And it's all right here in the book. Right here in this book also. We had to summarize this. Else if I go on with this katha, the whole yug will come. And my dear friend, this is all the katha we will deal with. The book is a big book. What happens tomorrow night happens. I do not plan to read in this yagya the coming of Lord Ganesh, how he came. You all know how he came. Mata Parvati, Girija, she crafted him with her own hands, made out of dirt. This is the same Murti, made out of dirt. And she blew the breath of life in him. And my dear friends, you all know the episode. Bhagwan Shiva was out. And when he came back home, he saw this little boy standing with a stick. He says, step aside, I want to go inside this. He said, well, who is you? You can't just walk in here like that. My mother told me, don't let anybody come inside. And big battle between Lord Shiva, same Lord Shiva, and this little boy. Lord Shiva got angry. You all know what he did? He took the Trishul and he beheaded that little boy. That head of that little child went into Akash. Tamasic Prakriti. We don't have time to talk about that in this yagya. My dear friends, Bhagwan Shiva was asked to bring this child back alive. As Devi, Parvati, Durga Ma was going to create havoc with the world and to please and make her santosh peaceful, the elephant head, Gajendra, was brought. This is what you have here. This is what we have. The presentation of all the devas, all the devatas coming together, pulling their resources together to present to you, my dear friends, this magnificent form of Lord Ganapati. It is up to you. It is up to me. My dear friends, we did not bring this huge murti here to show off. We bring it for you and for us to pray to it, to worship it, because we have a special love for this celebration. Some people ask, Baba, why do you bring the Kali Murti? It is not my desire to bring the Kali Murti. I have performed many Kali Yags in Trinidad, and when I see how people behave, what did they do when they see Kali, me want to mad people by me. I mean not, no disrespect. Sometimes people take it off course. I find it very strange. Only when they see the Kali Murti, they shake up and thing and beat up their head and thing. And in order to cool them down, because Shakti come on them, you have to throw lota water on them. Shakti don't come on people so, my dear friends. Do not play with these devotion. Therefore, when you stand before this Murti, go with a pleasing heart, not with a heavy heart. Pour your hearts out to Him. This Lord is able and competent to grant you all your wishes that you so desire. And my dear friends, all of us have difficulties. Those of you are locked on, we all have difficulties, ailments. Now is the time to surrender yourself to that Lord. Prem se bolo Shri Gajanana Swami ki. Pandit Yudesh, I thank you for coming tonight. We'll ask you to say a few words, bring a few words of blessings. They will tell you where to stand. Shrishti, all things said.
Principal Gajanananda Swami ki, devotees, friends, family. I don't want to put water in anything that Pandit Satyanarayana has said. I want you to take home that message. I don't want to dilute it. I've been a Pandit for 25 years, a little more. And I passed through all those days, especially in the sovereign ceremony, in the Hardi night. So today I just want to sing a little bhajan dedicated to that divine mother, Jaganamba Devi. Jagadambike Jai Jai Jagajanani Ma Jagadambike Jai Jai Jagajanani Ma Kya manharna सुहाया है क्या मनहरना सुहाया है वारू सब कुछ माँ चरणों पर वारू सब कुछ माँ चरणों पर मेरे मन को ये भाया है जगदम्बिके जय जय जग जननी माँ जननी माँ जगदम्बिके जय जय जग जननी माँ जय माँ जय माँ जय माँ जय माँ जो पाऊँ तुमसे पाऊँ जो जैन उसमें हर्षा कुछ रहे न मेरा अपनापन मैंने सर्वस्व चराया है जगदम्बिके जय जय जग जननी माँ जय माँ जय माँ जय माँ जय माँ प्रिंस आदिशक्ति नव दुर्गा महारानी की जय
Thank you, Pandit. Thank you for taking your time to be here with us. And my godson Veer, I see my goddaughter is here in the audience with her husband. Thank you for coming. Also tonight, my dear friends, we have the president of the Bharatiya Vishnu Mandir, that is the current president. Rajiv will ask him to bring greetings.
Sitaram. So officiating Pandit Satyanan Gosai, other distinguished Pandits in attendance, devotees of God. On behalf of myself, the President, the Executive Committee of the Bharatiya Vishnu Mandir.
1 minute, 1 minute.
Sitaram. Testing, Sitaram. So Pandit Satyanan Gosai, officiating Pandit. Other distinguished Pandits in attendance, Pandit Gyan Gosai, devotees of God. On behalf of myself, the President, the Executive Committee, members and devotees of the Bharatiya Vishnu Mandir, we extend a warm and cordial Ganesh Utsav greetings to each and every one. And it's my pleasure to be here this evening. As Panditji would have educated us in his discourse, so many lessons can be taken away. One in his opening that stayed with me this evening is to see the good in every situation. And amidst the pandemic that has affected and impacted on so many homes, organizations, places of worship, we are here 2 years down the road, being blessed to have this celebration as grand as we could, as little as we can, so we all can gather once again comfortably and share our prayers, our devotion, our thoughts to Lord Ganesh and to others. There's an infamous saying, service to humanity is service to God. And indeed, Pandit has served this community over the many years, whether it's through yajnas, education, charity, dan, in whatever way. And I really would like to thank you as a young resident of Bharatiya for doing such a good job, for bringing this celebration into our community, into our doorsteps, as I may describe it, so we can come here night after night, evening after evening, year after year. And I really wish yourself and your members of your team a great success in your current and future endeavors. And I know for our community, it's left in good hands with Panditji, myself, and many others. It's not an easy road to serve our community. It's a commitment, but many are called, few are chosen. And once we have God's grace and blessings, there are so many, much more to come in the near future for the community of Bharatiya. So the viewing audience, those who can't be here physically, but you're here virtually, Lord Ganesha's blessings to each and every one. And to you all devotees, may you all have a safe journey back home. And may Lord Ganesh continue to bless each and every one of you all, your homes, your families. Jai Sitaram.
Thank you, Rajiv. And may you also continue your endeavors. Hold the mic right there. Devotees, tonight we have presidents, past presidents. Didi Sabita C. Prasad is a past president of the Bharatiya Temple. But tonight we also have my dear friend and brother, Shri Prakash Gosain Prakash Rambaran. And Prakash Gosain is also a dear friend. He's no longer in the world, but my brother Prakash is here to visit Dharampatni. I'll ask him to bring greetings tonight with a few words.
Officiating Vyashi, my dear brother Sri Satyanan Gosai, Pujari Pandit, Pandit Gyan Gosai, Pandit Ganesh and his son, devotees all. Tonight again, as mentioned previously, we are very privileged and honored to have this celebration in our village. This, my dear devotees, began many, many years ago. And I can recall very clearly the Satyanan Mataji and, of course, her son. We used to meet in Pinal. Years before, as Pandit Gyad mentioned, before this celebration started here in Bharataria 25 years ago, years before that. Yearly, we always, my wife and I, all the way to Pinal, we sort of meet up there in the Ganesh Utsav Celebration where it started all. Sometime even at the Vishwanath Mandir in Sadni Grandi, we always be there together during this time of Ganesh Utsav. So again, we are very privileged, my dear devotees, and very honored to be part of this very, very wonderful celebration. And we must say, thank you to Pandit Satyanan Gosai. We all grew up together here in this village, and it's a wonderful, wonderful gesture on behalf of his executive and his family and all members who were involved in getting this done in this wonderful village of Bharataria. So again, blessings to you, Panditji, and to you and your family and to members of your team. We say, well job done. And of course, keep on good work. Jai Sitaram. Aapko dhanyabad.
Thank you, Panditji, Prakashji. And we do hope if you have the time, you'll come and join us again. At this time, my dear friends, we turn our focus on Pandit Gyan, who will engage us in the final Havan. Sit upright and follow his instructions.
My dear devotees, let us all sit upright, focus our minds on that divine form of Sri Ganesh Bhagavan as we perform Havan. Your participation, simply saying Swaha with each offering. Om Agnaye Swaha, Om Somaye Swaha, Om Prajapate Swaha, Om Indraye Swaha, Om Agni Jyoti Jyoti Ragni Swaha, Om Surya Jyoti Jyoti Surya Swaha, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Swaha, Om Lakshmi Kalvyo Namah Swaha, Om Gauri Ganebhyo Namah Swaha, Om Namah Shivaya Swaha, Om Namah Shivaya Swaha, Om Namah Shivaya Swaha, Om Durgaye Namah Swaha, Om Lakshmiye Namah Swaha, Om Saraswate Namah Swaha, Om Krishnaye Namah Swaha, Om Ramaye Namah Swaha, Om Pamputaraye Namah Swaha, Om Hanumantaye Namah Swaha, Om Bajrangbalyaye Namah Swaha, Om Suryaye Namah Swaha, Om Somdevtaye Namah Swaha, Om Mangal-devtaye Namah Swaha, Om Buddha-devtaye Namah Swaha, Om Guru-devtaye Namah Swaha, Om Shukra-devtaye Namah Swaha, Om Shani-devtaye Namah Swaha, Om Rahuaye Namah Swaha, Om Ketuaye Namah Swaha, Om Kuldevtaye Namah Swaha, Om Gram-devtaye Namah Swaha, Om Astam-devtaye Namah Swaha. 6 years. We all join together, chanting of Gayatri, Maha Mantra. Om Bhut Bhuva Swa तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ नमः शम्भवाय च मयो भवाय च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च स्वाहा ॐ अग्नये जातवेदसे स्वाहा। Three more friends. ॐ सर्वं वै पूर्णगं स्वाहा ॐ सर्वं वै पूर्णगं स्वाहा ॐ सर्वं वै पूर्णगं स्वाहा। My dear devotees, everyone standing up please. Purnahuti, final offering, mantra, prayashchit, penance and forgiveness, asking God to forgive us any mistakes, shortcomings, indiscretion, transgression, negative thoughts. Om yajasa karmanu atirijam jalpanunamihaakaram agnesha shishakaravityata sarvam swisham sahotam karutame agnaye shishakite sahutuhuti savaprayashita hutinam kamanam samadaitre sarvanam kamarta samardhaya. Om purnamada purnamadam purnabudachate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vishishyate swaha. Achman. Om adite anamanya swa Om animate anamanya swa Om sarasate anamanya swa Om deva savita prasuya jam prasuya pathembagaya devyo gandarkita puke tangana punatu vachaspatir vachana swaritu. Fun. Om Udiswagni Pratijahagri Tamishta Prute Sunuchiji Thamayancha Asmin Sarasya Jutarasmin Vishwe Devajmanisya Siddhata Rishishi Agni Devta Ki Jai.
जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा।
गणपति देवा गणपति देवा गणपति देवा।
जय गणेश देवा माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा।
गणपति देवा गणपति देवा गणपति देवा।
गणपति देवा एक दंत दयावंत चार भुजाधारी एक दंत दयावंत चार भुजाधारी माते सिंधु सोए मुसकी सवारी। गणपति देवा
गणपति देवा
गणपति देवा
गणपति देवा
गणपति देवा।
जय गणेश देवा माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। गणपति देवा गणपति देवा गणपति देवा
गणपति देवा
गणपति देवा।
अंडन को आकर कोरियन को खाया अंडन को आकर कोरियन को खाया भाजन का पुत्र देव निर्धन को।
गणपति देवा गणपति देवा गणपति देवा।
जय गणेश देवा माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा।
गणपति देवा गणपति देवा गणपति देवा।
हार चढ़े फूल चढ़े और चढ़े मेवा हार चढ़े फूल चढ़े और चढ़े मेवा मोदक का भोग लगे संत भज सेवा।
गणपति देवा गणपति देवा गणपति देवा।
गणपति देवा
गणपति देवा
जय गणेश देवा माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा।
गणपति देवा गणपति देवा गणपति देवा।
ओम गं गणपते नमो नमः Mangalam Bhagwan Vishnu, Mangalam Garuvadvajam, Mangalam Parvati Nath, Mangalayashtano Hari. Tvameva Mata, Chapita Tvameva, Tvameva Bandhu, Chasaka Tvameva, Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva, Tvameva Sarvam, Mama Deva Deva. May Shanti, may peace always be with you. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om Shanti. Hari Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. प्रेम से बोलो श्री उमापति महादेव की, कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की, आज शक्ति जगदम्बा देवी का माता की, प्रेम से बोलो श्री गजानन स्वामी की, सत्य सनातन धर्म की. Remain standing for Bhujan Mantra.
Our Maja devotees, let us bow our heads in prayer as we ask God to bless the food before we partake of it. Om Manapate Anasyano Deyanamiwasya Shushmana Prapradatarang Tarishe Urjano Dehi Dvipade Chatushpade. O Almighty One, Lord of food, we partake of this meal by Thy grace. May we use only those foods that are health given free from disease, pure and nourishing. May this food help us to overcome our difficulties, and may all bipeds and quadrupeds derive benefit therefrom. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om.
प्रेम से बोलो श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की. Please take your seats. At this time, my dear friends, we invite you, the devotees, to come and make your offerings to the Mangal Murti. Haradi, Sindur, Dubgras. Somebody put a sadhu, put a tali there, put arti for them, and make your offer. My dear friends, if anybody is desirous of having a coconut, right behind the videographer there are coconuts. You can have one. Take it before the Mangal Murti of Lord Ganesh. Bless it, take it at home. And the day we're going out to the ocean, that is the coconut that you will crack and offer unto the Murti. Meals have been prepared for all, so while those devotees are making their offerings, those who want to have their meals can have it in front. If there's anybody who is desirous of sitting as a srota, you can prepare yourself and come in this most auspicious time. Puja begins at 5 p.m. sharp. Please come and join with us. You can come and make your offering. While this is done, we'll have a few bhajans.
गणनायक बन के बुध विनायक बन के प्रभु भक्तों के कष्ट मिटाना. गणनायक बन के बुध विनायक बन के प्रभु भक्तों के कष्ट मिटाना. प्रभु रूप कन्या का अपना बनाया, माने भक्तों को दर्श दिखाया। रूप कन्या का अपना बनाया, माने भक्तों को दर्श दिखाया। तन पे चुनरी है लाल बिंदिया का माल, तन पे चुनरी है लाल बिंदिया का माल। लाल हाथों में मेहंदी रचाया, मारे भक्तों को दर्श दिखाया। रूप कन्या का अपना बनाया, मारे भक्तों को दर्श दिखाया। नए काजल सजे पाँव पायल बजे, नए काजल सजे पाँव पायल बजे। चूड़ियों की कनक मन को पाया, मारे भक्तों को दर्श दिखाया। रूप कन्या का अपना बनाया, माने भक्तों को दर्श दिखाया। दो कमल जैसे नैन बरी लीती है मैं, दो कमल जैसे नैन बरी लीती है मैं। किस सुंदर ने अपना बनाया, माने भक्तों को दर्श दिखाया। रूप कन्या का अपना बनाया, माने भक्तों को दर्श दिखाया। गले माला सजे कान बाला सजे, गले माला सजे कान बाला सजे। नाक के शोभनक ने बताया, मारे भक्तों को दर्श दिखाया। रूप कन्या का अपना बनाया, मारे भक्तों को दर्श दिखाया। ओ मारे भक्तों को दर्श दिखाया। हे माँ